Hey everyone, and thanks for tuning back into another video. And today I've got an absolute exclusive for you. This is a new limited edition JodyJazz hand-hammered tenor saxophone mouthpiece. There are only 300 of these made. I'm going to prove that to you by showing the serial number on the back of this mouthpiece. So we've got 95 of 300 here, and as you can see, it's a 7-star. So as I say, 300 of these made. They've all been distributed around the world to various retailers and distribution points, and we have got a small handful at sax.co.uk here that we're very proud of. And as I brandish the 7-star here in my hand, I can tell you the first thing I observe about this is that it's incredibly heavy. This is without doubt the heaviest mouthpiece I've ever handled. I remember handling a Claude Lakey metal tenor sax mouthpiece in the past, and I thought that was heavy, but this one is extra weighty. I mean, it's just made of standard brass, and it actually has a rose gold-plated finish, but it's the fact that it really has these hard rubber proportions to it, so really thick wall here, which gives it that extra weight. The whole point of this mouthpiece, obviously, as you can tell, it's hand-hammered, as I've mentioned, and that is what is doing the magic, and that's why Jody wanted to bring it to the world, due to the unique qualities that hand hammering can bring to metal. It's a technique that's borrowed from cymbal making. So there is a famous cymbal maker called Paul Francis that Jody has collaborated with. He's been doing his job for decades, and he's really experienced and a household name in that industry. And what you get with hand-hammered cymbals is that by work hardening the material, it allows the material to be harder and sustain more and have a bit more depth in the sound and more overtones, more of a complex sound. So he thought he'd try applying the same technology to a saxophone mouthpiece, and the results are really interesting. If I rotate it here and you just look inside, you can see it's a fairly straight cut traditional baffle, not too raised here, perhaps a slight lip just at the tip, but fairly traditional. So we're getting quite a sort of standard straight sound that allows you to colour the sound perhaps in any direction that you want. But obviously the key thing is the fact that it's just got this beautiful finish, and it's just going to be interesting to see what kind of effect that has on the mouthpiece in general. As you might expect with a limited edition piece, it is packaged absolutely beautiful. So it comes in this lovely wooden cylindrical box, which is pretty solid, I have to say. Comes in this lovely leather bag here. Everything's just very joyful as you unpack it, and it's even got a little certificate inside of authenticity. There we go, proving the whole thing. It is a limited edition mouthpiece. And also, sold separately, Jody is making these hand-hammered power rings to go with them. You don't have to buy it with a hand-hammered power ring, but it just makes sense, don't you think, guys? I mean, look at that. Clearly, the remit of producing a mouthpiece with this finish is to get as much resonance and response going as possible, and that's definitely what we have here. So the sound is very ultra smooth, it's got a warmth to it, but it comes with very little energy. You know, you can just blow a nice steady airstream and everything just pops out. It's very responsive. So it's a very satisfying sound, and throughout the range as well, particularly in the bottom end, there's a real nice sort of butteriness. The bottom notes just pop out. It's got a lovely subtone to it as well down there. So the subtone moving into the full tone is very satisfactory. Those bottom notes don't pop out too much. Very even. then in the altissimo and the upper reaches, there's a nice fullness again going on at the top there. It's not a screechy sound, so it's not one of these, it's not a mouthpiece that I would suggest as your rocking kind of a funk style, pop style mouthpiece where you just want to blast through and cut through the texture. It's much more of a sit back, enjoy the tone of the tenor sax. Playing solo stuff on this is great. I would suggest playing sort of small combos, duets, smaller groups. It's absolutely brilliant. In terms of just the different kind of colour possibilities, again, whether it's down to this hand hammering, I'm not sure, but to me it certainly feels like there's a lot of possibility in the sound there. There's a lot of, you can feel the overtones going on, the darkness in there is very present, but at the same time there's a sort of sweetness there, so it's a nice balance of all of those colours really, which I really love, and I think that's what Jody was striving to achieve with this mouthpiece. And then just adding this power ring here just completes the look really. I mean, okay, I'm sure tonally it's adding a bit on top of, if you were to say use a standard Rovner ligature for example, but just this combination of this beautiful hand-hammered power ring and the mouthpiece looks stunning and it sounds great to me. So yeah, I absolutely love it. We've only got a few of these, so snap them up whilst you can, guys, because they're not going to be hanging around for very long. Fantastic job, Jody. Again, well done.